Joining us to discuss the takeaways from the Turkey-Africa Summit is Ambassador Joe Keshi, an African affairs analyst and former Nigerian ambassador to the United States of America. It's good to have you join us on the news at this time.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Good afternoon. So let's go straight to the topic at hand now. The third Turkey-Africa Partnership Summit has just wrapped up under the theme Enhanced Partnership for Common Development and Prosperity, where a joint declaration and an action plan for the next 5 years was unveiled. What was the take-home for Africa?
I think that's a big question. It's a very big question. What are the takeaway for Africa? Africa is a huge continent, and here you find a very huge continent, well-resourced, with a lot of mineral, natural, and human capital, playing second fiddle to one relatively small state, yes, within its own right, powerful, medium-sized, developed. And here you have a number of African countries, if not all African countries, traveling all the way to have a meeting just with one man. I think, for me, this is sad, and we all know the history of this. But at the same time, if this is the way African leaders believe that they should lead the continent, it's okay, as long as there are some benefits from all these African that summit, African this summit, and the rest of it. It's becoming quite unhealthy and a little bit shameful that everybody gets about money and summon African leaders to their capital. That said, I heard your introduction as one of the takeaways. Yes, I'm not too sure that I think it is good if an agreement is reached, because it has been a thorny issue between Turkey and Nigeria. But I'm not even sure that the businesses that are here, are interested in subverting Turkey. I think all they've been doing, if you take the Turkish hospital here, for example, they import all their medications, all their medicines. They import all their medicines from Turkey. And Turkey benefits from that project. There is a company here, I think they do carpentry, they do furniture, and they are responsible for some of these cardboard-made, furniture,
right.
Doors in Nigeria. They benefit, Turkey benefits from them really. So I'm not too sure that these entities care about subverting Turkey, but if it pleases the president of Turkey to have this agreement and to ensure its survival, I don't think we should bother ourselves, as long as we too can gain something from the agreement reached.
Okay, Joe Keshi, now talking about benefits and trade relations, trade volume between Turkey and Africa was $5.4 billion in 2020, and investments for this year alone stands at $6 billion. Would you say Africa has benefited immensely from this? You said Turkey has benefited. Has Africa benefited from this trade relations?
Look, the question is, what are we selling to Turkey? If we are selling something to Turkey, then we are benefiting. But if Turkish companies are coming to Nigeria and making money, yes, they are contributing to the economy in some ways. But at the end of the day, the major beneficiary of this relationship is, of course, Turkey. Look, if you look at the quantity of medication coming from Turkey alone, if you look at the quantity of furniture coming from Turkey alone, not to talk of other things, you begin to appreciate what I'm trying to say. I will agree and confess that I don't know what we export to Turkey now, but if trade is commensurate, then we are gaining. But if it's not, but that's not the issue. I think the issue is, yes, these agreements are there to inspire us, to enable us to know that there's a market Nigeria can get into. What is now left for us is to develop that ability, that capacity to play in that market. If we do not have that capacity and ability to play in that market, and the other side has the capacity and ability to play in our own market, we are not gaining much.
Okay, now COVID-19 is something we have to talk about. And Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said vaccine inequality and injustice towards Africa is a disgrace and must stop. And this has been on the news for some time. Now, he committed that 15 million doses of Turkey's Tokovac COVID vaccine will first be shared with Africa, and that Turkey will continue to supply medical aid and equipment. Now, would Turkey also be helping to develop the capacity of Africa so that the continent will also be able to produce enough vaccines and stop depending on handouts?
You know, these are some of these things that folks like me find very, very painful. We was talking in 1960 when we gained independence that today Turkey will donate 15 million doses of vaccine to the whole continent of 54 or 55 countries. What has happened to our own, capacity since 1960? I think sometimes we all need to sit down in this country and reflect on some of these things. You know, we are not. I mean, we tend to we've made ourselves, beggar nations in this continent. Turkey has the capacity because over the years they've developed these things. Look, I was watching an advert a few days ago on CNN on Bangladesh, and I told a friend of mine, the more Bangladesh puts out this advert, in a couple of years' time, don't be surprised if you see Nigerians stooping to Bangladesh.
So are you also opposed to the fact that instead of Turkey giving us these vaccines, let them help us, give us the resources so that we in Africa can develop these vaccines?
You are not listening to me. I'm still repeating the same question in so many
ways. But I'm trying to get your facts on the handouts.
What I'm trying to say is that, yes, they can help us. But imagine, look, break it down. 10 million doses to 52 or so countries. What does that come to? I mean, this country is a country of 200 million people. And the country is giving the whole of Africa 15 million doses. And we are happy. We are glad. Sure. There's no big deal in that. We welcome it. We accept it.
Okay, Joe, away from COVID-19, now there are talks about the fight against terror. How will a country like Turkey continue to partner with Africa on both defense and counterterrorism?
Well, any help from anywhere to help Nigeria or Africa overcome its security or insecurity crisis, it's welcome. But again, let me make the very point I'm trying to make. Is that, it is time in, I think it was in the 80s, when Rita said Africa was coming of age. It is time we actually do that. And stop hoping that anytime a world leader summons our leaders to Africa, to their country, we come back, we celebrate what they've given us. Sure, they can help us. But we shouldn't think that the rest of the world owes a responsibility. We must grow up on our own and develop some of these things. What is it that is in Turkey that we cannot do in this country? I think that is what we should be discussing.
All right.
Not that it was 15 million doses of vaccine and they are going to supply us arms and ammunition. Find out when Turkey's industrial complex was established and when we established our own, and what is the difference between the two.
All right, Joe Keshi, I think you've made your point clear that Africa as a continent needs to try to stand on its own and stop relying on other dependent bodies. Thank you so much for your points, Joe Keshi.
Thank you.